Hey guys, so it's been a year since I've had my accident, and I thought it would be special if I could just make a video, also just as a celebration, I suppose, for coming this far, just to like kind of document and kind of commemorate what God has done in my life, and also just to give an update to the people out there that are still interested, and also to tell you guys what's going on and to share more of my testimony. It's been a year. It's now on 5 June is when I had the accident. I think it's been a hard year for me. But at the same time, it's also been a blessing to my life. And I think that's what I've learned from this whole process is that even though like in the midst of, tragic things or stuff that can go wrong, God always uses it for good, and He changes what could seem like the most terrible thing to ever happen or something so tragic or whatever's happening in your life, that God uses that for good and He makes it beautiful. And I've also just learned of how beautiful God is. He's revealed to me recently, in the past couple of weeks, just the love that He has for me and also just His beauty. And it's incredible. Like I've only experienced a snippet of it, but I mean, already what I have experienced of God is it's special, and it means a lot, to experience God, because it's personal. It's not something, it's for everyone as well. That's the crazy thing. But when you experience God, it's personal, and I've gotten here at VGY. I've learned a lot about God, and I've learned a lot of good stuff, I've also just enjoyed being with people, and the whole environment that we have here at VGY it's truly special because, even though everyone's acknowledged that I've had an accident, everyone still loves me and treats me the same, and we joke, and us boys, we do boy things, we have fun, and also just going to the beach, people are willing to help out and, let me also live like a normal life. And I'm recovering a lot. Like God's doing amazing work in my body, and sometimes I can feel stuff happen in my body, like little spasms and twitching and stuff in places that I haven't actually really moved before. I know when I stretch sometimes, like my left toes, which aren't completely moving, they like move a little bit like this. When I stretch, they kind of curl down. So stuff's there, there's life in my feet. God's doing healing, and it's really cool. And also there's something here in J-Bay, it's J-Bay cabs, and also friendly cabs is basically Uber. Because J-Bay is so small, there is an Uber here, but it's the same thing. And I've used so many cabs now. I probably know all the cab drivers out there. And just being in the car with these random people, I get to share my testimony, and it's really, really cool. And sometimes it's a bit tiring because I think, share my whole testimony, the whole story again. But I share what I feel is relevant to that person or what God kind of reveals to me in that moment. So I'm really grateful for what has happened in my life because it gives me an opportunity to share a testimony of God's goodness and His love, His grace. And, it may be difficult, whoever's watching this, it may be difficult to think, how can a person like me maybe, say God is so amazing and He's so special and He's so wonderful and divine. And it truly comes down to experiencing Him and knowing who He is. And I don't love God because of what He's done in my life and what He has already unlocked in my life and what He's given to me. I love God for who He is and knowing who He is as a Father. And that's something very important. And this year I've gotten to know my Father more, God. And it's really special, and I'm having more quiet times and I'm spending a lot more time with Him. And I am thoroughly enjoying getting to know the Word more. How can you preach something you don't know what it's about? How can I preach about the Bible if I don't know what's in it? And I just learned what's in the Bible, and we have theology classes. I've also learned about a couple of different books, and it's really cool just learning about God's heart, because that's what I've learned from the Bible is everything is just a representation of God's love for us, and we get to see how God interacts with His people and His children in the Bible, and in that way we can translate it into our own lives and understand the love that He has for us. And we don't always understand what's happening, and we don't get to see the bigger picture. And there's a lot of questions that we may have that we don't know the answer to. And that is very normal, because no one has figured out God, and no one will ever figure out God completely. But there's a lot we do know about him, but obviously it's compared to like what there is, the available information that we do know about God. There's still tons of stuff we don't know, because it's God, and it's difficult to think how there's some divine creator of the universe and someone who is amongst us, but we don't see him always. And it's difficult, but as you see God work in different ways in your life, it becomes a lot more easier to believe God and just rely on him. And that's something also that I've been grateful for, is that I've been truly reliant on God this whole process in the accident. And that's why I'm never, sometimes I get frustrated, but that was like in the first couple of months. Like since then, I could say like life is a breeze with God, because, I'm truly reliant on him, and I also don't seek control over things. I'm fine with being out of control, in terms of like I don't have full control of my life. If something happens to me, that's okay, because I know I'm rooted in God, and whatever may come, I'm fine with it. Like I'm rooted in my Father, and that's why I've also felt. I've also been told by a couple of people, it's sometimes difficult to hear, but it also makes me excited, is that even though this was difficult, there's the stuff that's coming in the future, and life is difficult. There's always stuff that happens in our lives that. We go up, life goes up and down and gets hard and easy, and there will be maybe even harder stuff to come in my future. And I'm preparing for that, and God's preparing me for future things. And even though this has been something that is tough to get through, it's prepared me, it's built character in me. And I've also developed a deeper love, because I've gotten to know God better. And because I know God better, I know what love is better. And because I know what love is better, I can love others easier. So it has made me a better person. When I mean better person, I mean I've just understood love better. And from there, everything kind of just grows. And it's been truly special, and I'm really having fun here in J-Bay. The people here that I've met are really cool. There's some really special friends that I've made. And I'm just enjoying the whole environment here, and just also admiring God's beauty, I thought, what if I died that night? What if I died on 5 June, There's so much stuff that I wouldn't have seen, but also stuff that I have seen that I didn't appreciate for what it was. And you don't always appreciate things for, the stuff that you have in your life until it's taken away from you, like running. You're just running, But that's something that now I've learned that I should cherish. And just the beauty of, God's creation, like here in J-Bay, it's so beautiful. I love to go for a swim in the ocean with friends. And it's just so beautiful, just sitting in the water, even though it's so cold. There's mountains in the distance, and just the waves and the sunset. It's all so beautiful, and just being with people, I just love it. So if something that I can share that from this past year is that God is so beautiful. He is really beautiful, and he is someone that loves you so much, and he loves everyone so much. And he's so interested in us, and he desires to be part of our days. And he's such a wonderful Father, we can never really understand it. But, even though we don't always get to see his beauty, we should know that it's there, because it's difficult to describe in words, but it's truly, we don't deserve God, and just who he is as a Father is so amazing, and it's so beautiful. And I just want to thank God for just what he's done in my life, and I'm really grateful. And I thank you for everyone who's kind of been listening in, and whoever's watching this, for supporting my journey, whether that has encouraged you in life, or brought you close to God, or done something in your life, or testimony that you can share to others. Because, that's cool that you can share my testimony when it comes to my accident stuff, but when you share it, you must remember that that's something that God has done in my life, and it's really special. And that's why, that's an encouragement. You should share this testimony, because I want people to know of God's goodness, and I want people to know what he has done in my life, and that he is truly amazing. He's a wonderful Father, and that's something that you need to share. So if you've seen this, you must share it to someone. You must share my testimony, and try to get people to know God and draw them close to him, because that's our goal here as believers on earth, is to have a relationship with God, which is the most important thing. But since that is our purpose on earth, and there are people who aren't in a relationship with God, we need to bring those people towards God. And so that's my encouragement. And I thank you for everyone who's watching, and thank you for supporting, and for the people who have prayed. Prayer has power even when you don't see it happen instantly. I know right now my body's healing, and God is healing my body. And yeah, prayer is effective, it's powerful, and it changes things. It changes environments, it changes atmospheres, and it unlocks something in the spiritual realm, and it's truly powerful. So I thank you all for watching. This is a lot longer than I expected to be. But yeah, I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you guys. And also thank you to my family for supporting me. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. I'll see you soon.